Hello everybody, so welcome to lesson 21, adjusting entries on depreciation. So before anything else, please download Handout 21 for our adjusting entries in depreciation. So the link for the handout is available in the description box. Okay, so today we'll be discussing asset depreciation. So usually our furniture, equipment, automobile, and other fixed assets are, syempre, habang ginagamit natin siya through the years, naluluma, nasisira, bumabagal yung performance, parang hindi na siya optimum performance. So, yun nga lang, we don't have a method na magko-compute kung magkano talaga exactly yung pagkaluma or pagkasira ng isang asset. Okay? So, in accounting, we have a systematic way in order for us to determine how much is the asset being depreciated. Okay, so one thing that we also need to adjust in the book of accounts is what we call depreciation. Depreciation is a decline in the value of an asset due to wear and tear, obsolescence, and passage of time. So, naluluma, yun nga yung ating mga assets, kailangan mag-account tayo ng adjusting entries kasi yung asset value natin is bumababa siya through time. Okay? Another thing that we need to consider in computing for depreciation is what we call the residual value. Residual value is the value expected in the asset at the end of its useful life. So, also, kailangan din natin kasing ma-determine or ma-estimate ilang years talaga useful yung asset na meron tayo. Okay? So, for senior high school level, we will be discussing one method of depreciation, which is what we call the straight line method of depreciation. So the straight line method of depreciation gives you this formula: the cost of the asset, kung magkano natin siya unang binili, minus the residual value of the asset, then we divide it to the life in years. Since our denominator in the fraction is life in years, or our divisor is life in years, so annual depreciation yung makakompute natin. Okay, so when you have already downloaded Handout 21, we will be solving the examples in Handout 21. Okay, starting, we're ready to start. Okay, so we're ready. Please download Handout 0 to 1 and we will be solving the examples, and we will be finishing or plotting amounts in this table. Okay, so let's have the first problem. Jim and Company purchased equipment on January 1, 2020 amounting to 500,000 with residual value of 50,000 and a life of 5 years. Prepare the adjusting entry on asset depreciation and fill up the following depreciation table. Okay, so in our first example, the asset cost is 500,000, the residual value is 50,000, and the life is 5 years. So let's compute the annual depreciation using the formula that we have earlier. So the cost of the asset is 500,000 minus the residual value, which is 50,000. The difference between the asset cost and the residual value is what we call the depreciable amount. So we divide it in the life in years, which is 5 years. Okay, so 500,000 minus 50,000. The depreciable amount is 450,000. Then we divide it by 5 years. So it gives you 90,000 annual depreciation. So each year, the value of the asset will decline by 90,000. Okay, so the asset was purchased on January 1, 2020, dadaan ng isang taon, so December 31, 2020. So we have a depreciation of 90,000. What will be the entry of the company at December 31, 2020? We have debit depreciation expense for 90,000, then credit accumulated depreciation. The account accumulated depreciation, this one is a contra asset account. When we say contra asset account, it is also an asset account, but it deducts the value of the related asset. So in this case, our example is an equipment. So the equipment has a cost of 500,000, then it will decline its value by deducting the amount of accumulated depreciation. So for this year, our accumulated depreciation is also 90,000. So let's compute for the carrying value of the asset. How much is the carrying value of the asset, or the current value of the asset after 1 year of use? So we deduct 500,000 to 90,000. And we have 410,000. So if you are asked how much is the depreciation expense on December 31, 2020, the answer is 90,000. How much is the value of accumulated depreciation on December 31, 2020? The answer is 90,000. How much is the carrying value of the equipment on December 31, 2020? Asset cost of 500,000 minus accumulated depreciation of 90,000 gives you 410,000. So, straight-line depreciation is the most basic method because yearly it would just be 90,000. So next year, our depreciation would also be 90,000. And from the word accumulated, accumulate, na iipon siya. So, 90,000 plus 90,000, the value of accumulated depreciation on the second year of the asset is 180,000. So the carrying value of the asset is asset cost, again, minus accumulated depreciation. So 500,000 minus 180,000 gives you 320,000. Next year of the asset, third year of the asset, the depreciation will also be 90,000. Then the accumulated depreciation would be 180,000 plus 90,000, 270,000. And then your carrying value would be 500,000 minus 270,000, which gives you 230,000. Fourth year of the asset, it would still be 90,000. And then accumulated depreciation would be 270,000 plus 90,000 is 360,000. The carrying value of the asset on December 31, 2023 would be 500,000 minus 360,000 or 140,000. And on the last year of the asset, depreciation is also 90,000. Accumulated depreciation is 360,000 plus 90,000, which gives you 450,000. And on the fifth year of the asset, 500,000 minus 450,000, ang matitira yung residual value na ina-expect natin at the end of the life of the asset, which is 50,000. 50,000, 50,000. Okay? Let's move on to the second example. The second example is just the same actually. So it gives you an equipment amounting to 500,000, and also the residual value is 50,000, and the life is also 5 years, which also give you a depreciation, annual depreciation of 90,000. However, the asset was purchased on April 1, 2020. So, since it was not purchased at the beginning of the year, we need to prorate the depreciation in the first year of the asset. Kasi nung unang taon ng asset, April binili. So, nagamit lang siya noong 2020, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 9 months lang. So, sa second example natin, sa 2020, 9 months lang siya nagamit. So, your equation would be 90,000 times 9 over 12, which is 67,500. Okay, so your entry would be So this will be your adjusting entry on December 31, 2020. Only 67,500 kasi 9 months lang siya nagamit noong 2020. But the same way on how you will get your carrying value. 500,000 minus 67,500 will give you 432,500. For 2021, buong taon mo siya nagamit. At dahil buong taon, edi 90,000. Then you add these two, 67,500 plus 90,000 will give you 157,500. So the carrying value will be 342,500. So on 2021, your entry would be still the same, but this becomes 90,000. Okay? So for 2022, it would still be again 90,000. $90,000 again kasi 1 year only yun. And then 2024, 1 year uli na gamit. Pagdating ng 2025, yan yung naiwang 3 months. January, February, tsaka March. Kasi di ba April 1 binili nung una. So yung 3 months na matitira, dito siya, yung naiwang 3 months. and will still arrive at the residual value. Okay, so when you are being asked how much is the carrying value of the asset, asset cost minus accumulated depreciation. Okay, you know when you're correct when at the end of the life of the asset you get the residual value. Next lesson, we will be discussing the adjusting entries for landing on new travel services company. Thank you and have a great day.